God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy, God, deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. One power, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power. We speak speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. And we'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, it's what we are. One power, one power. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. Forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. What do I do if I'm not chasing any?
And so what I want us to do is I'm going to ask Kathy if you could play us a little music, and I want to take a moment and we're going to stand up if you're able, and I want you to just find somebody across the space. Maybe you haven't seen them in a while. Maybe it's a new person. Maybe it's somebody I should know your name, but I want you to walk up to somebody and take a moment and just say, hey, how you doing? How was your week? Can we do that? All right, let's do that.
We are all friends here. There are no strangers once you walk into that door. We welcome you to join us in our family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. Hey, Gabe. Gabe. I don't think my mic is on. I mean, I have it turned on my pocket. I thought you said we had audio. So, yeah, I heard him too, but the wireless isn't on yet.
Let's take a look.
I think it's fine. It's got the green light on.
It's on right now. Yeah, I hear it when you're wrestling with it. You have audio.
Oh, I wonder what the deal is.
Maybe
Okay.
it's just not in a good spot where your mouth is.
It's not picking up that good, maybe. Oh, that might be better.
All right, everybody, we're going to start working our way to the seats.
You know, we usually have a song right now after the welcome.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we're going to start working our way back to our seats. I am hopeful that by now you got a new phone number, you got a new bestie. We got some new phone numbers, I hope. I think I saw somebody borrowing $5. I'm not sure. It was all kinds of stuff. But how do you feel right now? Yeah, that feels good. So what we're going to do is, really quickly, I think we noticed already, but I had to pull it up online. At Unity Worldwide, there's actually a year-long affirmation. And this is our affirmation theme for 2023. In this year of spiritual evolution, I am reminded of grace and gratitude. I am abundantly blessed. So think about that vibration. Think about all the spiritual centers that are meeting today and connected in love. And just know that whether we call it or not, it is that in this year of spiritual evolution, I am reminded of grace and gratitude. Can we say together, I am abundantly blessed? Let's say it together. I am abundantly blessed.
For our opening song, we're going to do an old favorite that many people have been asking for. And some of the hymn books have it pasted in to the cover, front or back cover, in just a sheet of paper. But a lot of you probably know it by heart. It's called Surely the Presence. So feel free to stand up. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty presence and His grace. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty presence and His grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. In the midst of God's children, in the midst of God's children, the Lord said He would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3. And I feel that same sweet spirit that I felt oft times before. Surely I can say, I'm here with my Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Let's stay standing for our opening prayer. So we'll stay standing for our opening prayer. Let's open our hands and be in the space of receptivity. And if you desire, we'll close our outer eye. In this now moment, we know and trust and believe that we are richly blessed. In this moment, we welcome all the love, because that all that there is, all the love that enabled us to be here right now. We give gratitude knowing that our life is a miracle. Our very heart that beats without our conscious thinking is just evidence of what we already know to be true, that God is all that is. So we are all that is needed. We give thanks and gratitude, and together say, and so it is.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You may have a seat. So today I am on double duty. I'm doing Sunday service leader and I'm doing the talk. So yes. I promise it's not going to become the RHT show. I promise. All right. What I want to do is a part of my duties as Sunday service leader is to kind of like, nudge. And I want to do a quick nudge and say this, that a lot of love goes into making this space, this facility, this energy possible. And so if you came early enough, you heard leaves blowing, you saw somebody at the door who greeted you, you saw coffee and pastries and a lot of stuff, and that's just on Sunday morning. So imagine what happens in the week. So I want to acknowledge all those seen and unseen, all those who are working behind the scenes. You are seen, you are loved, and Lori is also championing volunteers. So if there's somebody who's doing the thing, right, reach out to Lori and be like, hey, let's shout out Barbara, right? Whoever it is, right? Let's give somebody a shout out because we acknowledge all the love that goes into this service. And so I want to give a shout out to Kathy DeWitt, who's on the ones and twos. We got Gabe and Star, who's doing our AV. Yes, that's right. We got Jackie Tatum, who was holding space and prayer for us, who is a prayer partner. Thank you, Jackie. And so I know I've said this before, but I do it often. So right after service in this room here, and even if you already prayed up and sanctified, it's always good just to reconnect and know what it means to affirm and visualize. And so I'm so thankful for our prayer partners who are holding space before service and even after. And then last but not least, we have our greeters, Hersan, and we had our board member on duty who's still out there, Rupali. So thank you to everybody who makes this work. So that's me acknowledging the crew, but I think, if full transparency, I think the most important job that I have as a Sunday service leader is acknowledging our first time visitors, right? And so I'm reluctant to use the word visitor because it's like, oh, visitor? No, I want to say our family, our first time family members who are in the environment. So can you, if you're willing, just kind of give us a little, fingers up in the air for your first time. Hello, what's up? Yes. All right, so thank you so much for joining us, y'all. I'm not sure how you got here or who brought you, but shout out to them and so much love. And right here, yep, thank you, Jackie. And so we also have some family who are coming back, who haven't been here in a while, but we welcome. I know Kathy was one. Am I saying your name right? Nancy. I'm sorry, Nancy. Anybody else? Yes, I see Jane pointing.
Oh, wow.
All right, welcome. Hello. And so if you've been here a lot, this is, I think, important, right? It's not so much how many times we've come or how unity passes through our journey. The important thing is we acknowledge that we are here and all of us make this experience possible and special. So thank you to everybody who, got up a little early, got caffeinated, whatever you had to do to get here. We see you, we love you, and we appreciate you. Okay, so let me get to those quick announcements, and then we're going to shift gears. The second most important announcement I want to give is actually about our very own Sue Henry Young. And so Sue, her celebration of life, her service is actually going to be October 1st at 12:30, right after service. And so a special thanks to everybody who is helping to organize that celebration of life. And so if you didn't know Sue Henry Young, just know that all the work that she did behind the scenes actually helped get us in the 21st century, right, with newsletters and just, we understand how much work Sue actually did now that, she's no longer in this physical form. So on October 1st at 12:30, even if you didn't know Sue, we welcome you just to stay back and just, we want to celebrate her life. That's happening October 1st. And the other thing I want to do is a quick plug for our website. So if you take a second, let's say, you're meandering, instead of social media, maybe you go to our website. And what you'll see is the incredible amount of activities that we have, right? Everything from Qigong to drumming circles to we have new member classes that all of us are invited to go to. Y'all, the activities are incredible and unlimited. And so take a second to kind of scroll through and you'll be able to see all the times in which these activities are being offered. All right, y'all. So believe it or not, that's the end of my announcements. I want to end with this and a special thank you to everybody. I know we started a little bit later than we usually do, getting our technology together. Just know that that flow of allowing, that is what love looks like. So thank you to everybody, because I know the inverse is what's taking so long, but today we flowing. So thank you so much, y'all. All right, so we're gonna do our daily word, and then we're gonna have our second number.
Good morning, everybody. I thank you. I'm Steve Greeno, and I'm a licensed Unity teacher. It's been a long time since I've been up here, and I'm very grateful to be back. Thank you. If you're distracted by my swollen mouth, don't worry, it's okay. I'm really feeling pretty grateful about it. Yesterday it looked like a football, and but it's looking much better today. But I'm grateful because seriously, you should really see the other guy. I mean we're talking serious injury. But no, seriously, I just had a little mishap, and it'll be fine. And, and isn't it interesting that today's daily word is healing? Healing. And I'm going to affirm that. Divine life lives as me. I am whole and well. Let's do that together. Divine life lives as me. I am whole and well. All together. Divine life lives as me. I am whole and well. Thank you. And that's from, it's not from, our scripture today is from the book of John, John 1, verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of all people. That's John 1, 4. When I am expecting a healing need, I focus my thoughts beyond illness and discomfort. Beyond illness and discomfort. Even as I seek treatment for the injury or illness, I see myself whole. I remember that I am created in the image according to the likeness of God. I know my life is God's life, living as me. Divine life fills every cell, strengthens every muscle, bone, and organ, and quickens every nerve in my body. It restores perfect order in all my body functions, releasing and replacing anything unlike itself. When someone asks me to pray with them, I do not ask about their symptoms or circumstances. I affirm that the healing activity of divine life in each one with whom I pray, I see them as the spiritual beings they are, whole and well. Let's repeat the affirmation, please. Divine life lives in me. I am whole and well. All together. Divine life lives in me. I am whole and well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to do a song for you from one of the very first Broadway musicals. It was called Oklahoma. The song has a chorus that everybody probably knows, not the verses, so feel free to sing along. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. The cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me walk by, but a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy it don't miss a tree, and an old weeping willow is laughing at me and singing, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Let's sing that again. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Oh, what a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, if you can keep playing for us, well, let's go into meditation.
Oh, okay.
It's something nice about the light airiness that's created through that song, and let's move that lightness, that sense of ease, into meditation. So what we want to do is, when we inhale, let's think the word allow. And when we exhale, let's think the word release. And when we go into meditation, let's take the love and lightness of the song we just heard. One of my favorite ways of meditation is allowing the music to move through us. So let's do that. So if ever your thoughts come in, it's okay. See those thoughts fly away like balloons. And so what we want to do is, on the inhale, say allow. And on the exhale, say release. And so let's move into meditation with that. We allow the breath all the way down to our solar plexus. We take in these cleansing breaths and we release what no longer serves us. We inhale life, the life force that keeps our blood going, our heart pumping, and we release that which has served its purpose. And we allow. We allow. Knowing that we are full in all that is because God is all that is. We breathe. We allow. We release. We allow. We release. We allow that deep gratitude to vibrate through us. Say thank you. We allow. And we release. We allow, we release. We're going to bring our consciousness back to this room. We're going to send our thoughts to the chair that supports us effortlessly, to our back, to our shoulders, to our hands, to our fingertips. We bring our consciousness fully into the space with complete gratitude. And whenever you are ready, open your outer eye. Whenever you are ready. Let's take a collective breath together. Inhale. Exhale. In July, in my talk, I said, this is our superpower. It is. So no matter what's going on, we have that inhale and exhale. What we just did was my favorite way to do it, which is allow and release. Allow and release. To ground our talk today, I want to give a quick story. So for those of you who don't know, we have a 1-year-old. Her name is Kenya. And Kenya turned 1 in August. And so, yes, yes, you'll see her walking in a second. And so Kenya, you know, her little buddies were walking and running, right? And so she was still watching her friends go, even though her friends were walking, and she was just like patient. But a couple days after her birthday, literally 2 days after her first birthday, she started walking, right? So here's a quick, yes, right? Yes, thank you, and you'll see her. So what I want to call our attention to is when Kenya officially started walking on her own, she would calibrate, right? So her hands would be articulating her body. And I have a video that I think I'll cherish forever, where she's like wobbling and breathing in every single step, and she calms herself, and then she starts again, right? But the walk is so clear and precise and articulate, right? And so now when she walked, Sally and I laugh because she has swag, y'all. She's moving arms like this, right? She has a little bathrobe, and so she's moving with that bathrobe. And this is only a month ago. So as we watched her walk and saw her like calibrate, the reality is we do that too, right? That learning process doesn't just stop, right, when a physical thing is done. In fact, all of us are in our growth journey. And what I want to start our talk with is this. As we move through a new way of consciousness, a new way of being, a new lesson, or the lesson that circled back around, the reality is just as Kenya had to walk and articulate, that's what we may have to do to ourselves, right? So if you're driving and somebody cuts you off, the Kenya walk says, I'm going to breathe, right? You may have to say that. I am breathing right now. I am okay, right? So whatever our growth journey is, know that that articulator is expressing itself in different ways. And so just as Kenya is just like flowing with her swag, we eventually in our growth journeys flow. And then there's a new lesson. There's a new experience. A new calibration, exactly. So what I want to do is I want that to ground our talk today, and I'll revisit it in a second. Today is part 3 of what I'm calling our It Always Works Out series. All right, that's what I'm calling it. All right, It Always Works Out series. This is part 3. July's talk was make a plan, God, right? Blank. God blank, right? Make a plan, God. That was all about the act of aligning oneself with one's highest good. That to hear the nudges, the inspiration, the guidance in the direction in which one goes actually takes commitment. That the ocean is like the universe, full of pure potential, a mass of power and possibility. Yet, we have to set our intention, align ourselves with it, and give over to it actively. So that was July, right? August, that talk was Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Storm. And so I told y'all the whole story about Kenya's birthday party with the AC, right? My new appreciation for it. That talk was about the way one perceives something. The way one thinks about a thing determines the outcome. And how in countless situations, our desire to control edges God out. We were asked to imagine what would life look like if we gave over to divine intelligence the little things. That was our charge. What would life look like, even in the little things, if we said, okay, divine love, you got that. Even the little things. Today's talk, the third and final part, and what I'm calling It Always Works Out series, is entitled this, Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip, all right? I told Gabe, he was like, ooh, tasty, right? Right? So whatever Miracle Whip brings up for you, I'm hoping the next time you see that jar of mayonnaise, you think differently. All right? Here we go, Miracle Whip. Let's take a second, and if you're not able to see it now, before you leave the building, I want you to just look at this. What is this called? This is a banana tree. What is this tree right out this window? A banana tree. If you can't see it now, don't worry. Before service or after service is done, just take a second and glance at that tree. All right. And I'm calling our attention to it because a year ago we had like a little cold nip. It was unexpected, and that was shriveled up and almost it looked like it was gone. It looked like it was no coming back. Right. And so week after week, I would just kind of check on it. It was our connection. And look at it now, right? The cells that were once gone, the cells that were once no longer here, they had died away. They had become the source material so we can do that. Who we are today is not the same person we were when we were children. Our cells, and we know this already, this is proven science. Our cells, there is not a single cell in our body that was the cell when we were born. Our body is perpetually regenerating over and over and over. What we do hold on to are those memories, the thing that we say is why I don't like people that way or why I take a long time to trust. That's the stuff that has nothing to do with our bodies, but everything to do with the intention that we set for ourselves. So, Kenya's walk, the articulators, and that plant. That's how we're grounded today. Neurobiologists discovered from age 0 to 7, children are absorbing the world around them. One person said they come into the world hardwired like a factory, right? So they have their DNA expression, they have their personality, but the stuff that makes up that factory is the stuff that they're learning. In fact, just to kind of give you an example, from 0 to 7, children can learn 3 languages without an accent. 3, from 0 to 7. In fact, our brain from 0 to 25, it's hardwired for receptivity. So the neuroplasticity that's happening, it's in a state of allowing and clarifying. And so we got to thank our ancestors' 2.5 million year journey that we're here. We think we're what, in our 70s, 80s, however old you are. Nah. You are 2.5 million years old, okay? So all that expression, all that history enables us to regenerate over and over again. And so after 25, it's not that learning is impossible. It's not that it doesn't just come easy. It requires our brain to process that information differently. So I was listening to a neurobiologist and a neuroscientist, and what they said was after 25, in order for us to learn something and it be imprinted, we have to do a few things. And one of those things is we have to deeply connect to the meaning of this thing, right? Its purpose has to be deeply settled within us. And so it leaves an imprint and we're able to move forward. And so one of the things I want to just kind of call out, if I say the word miracle, each of us has a different memory or experience connected to it. Miracle. And so what I did was I asked 3 lovely volunteers who said yes to share a 2 or 3 minute version of their miracle journey. So we're going to hear from Jackie Tatum, we're going to hear from Bonnie, and then I'm going to call Rupali out. So this is communal. This is our learning lesson. If y'all didn't know, so I'm a teacher. That's one of my professions. And so this is our class. So we're going to start with Jackie, then we'll move to Bonnie, and then I'll call Rupali in. Okay, so I'm bringing the mic. All right, so I asked Jackie to share a miracle journey that she's had, and I know she's had so many.
When he first asked me, I said, well, are you talking about an event or a process? Because I've had so many. And I mean, I feel like a new person. And As a matter of fact, I had so many memories flashing through that I thought, my gosh, which one do I choose? And I'm still deciding. So uh, what comes out of my mouth is going to be a surprise to me. Okay, a miracle can be a moment, or it can be a transition from one major situation to another that changes your whole life. And for me, I think the epiphany was when I was, if any of you can believe, I used to be totally submissive. Uh, all right, go ahead, have your laugh. Uh, I I was a meek, little, shy, people-pleasing puppet. That even came out in a live stream weekend. You know, the song People Pleaser. Well, I married a man just like my father who was domineering. Married 8.5 years, and I was working full-time, trying to be who everybody else wanted me to be. A supervisor gave me a book. Some of you may have heard it, Seth Speaks. That was an epiphany for me because I'd never heard of New Age and, you know, stuff like that. So it was a real learning curve for me, and I took a quantum leap because I didn't know how to be in the marriage and become a new me, because he didn't believe in God, and I became a spiritually awakened student. Through that process, I learned to be a new me, and of course I went the whole gamut. But that changed my whole life, and as a result, found unity a few years later, and that changed my whole life. So unity and Course in Miracles have become a way of life for me that guides my every moment, conscious or unconscious, and has gotten me through a lot of health challenges, including a 5-year hiatus when I don't even remember a lot of stuff, and people tell me, yeah, you are changed, you know, you're a different person. So I think what we do is learn to just kind of take those cautious steps as we go through that transition, kind of stabilize, and then get ready for the next step, the next change. And that's happened to me so many times, and I'm so grateful to have unity to help me stabilize and regroup and be able to take each challenge. And I have to say that one of my transitional stages, I got a card that was a farewell card from a job. And on that card is a quote that has stayed with me. Faith is the daring of the soul to go farther than it can see. Faith is the daring of the soul to go farther than it can see. And I remember even who wrote it, W.N. Clark with an E.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. So I asked Bonnie, for Bonnie, I was able to see almost in real time, even if it was in a tangent, I was able to see Bonnie's healing journey, because there was one Sunday, a couple of them actually, where we were praying and we said, okay, we're going to pray for Bonnie. And then next thing you know, Bonnie's walking in this room. Okay, so Bonnie.
There's a theory that says that during your lifetime you have 3 times when you can choose to stay or to go. This was my 3rd time, and I chose to stay. I did not realize how ill I was until a few weeks ago. My dear friend that was visiting from Virginia mentioned that my daughter had called her and told her how ill I was. So I realized I was really, really sick. And when you're in the midst of that, you don't know it. But I have to tell you, I'm the banana tree. There's no doubt, because all my cells were darn near dead, and they've all revived again. And when you're in the midst of that, you really do not understand. You see your family come in to see you, and you're there, and they're giving you medicine, and you're foggy and all. But in the last year, as I have recovered, it has been a journey asking myself, what on earth was this illness about? Where did it come from? And for you that don't know, I'm not going into it, but it was one thing. One day I was out with my husband. We were listening to music and dancing, and 3 days later I was in the hospital, and the doctor said, you brought her in 1 day later and she'd been dead, which was really nice. But what I've come to believe is the miracle that I think God has something else for me to do, and so I'm hanging around until I get it done.
Thank you, Bonnie. And so last, I wanted to get Rupali. I know we all know Rupali, but I don't know. I would do a quiz, but I'll move forward. I don't know how many people know Rupali's miracle story, so definitely get all the juicy details. But I asked Rupali if she can kind of give us a truncated version of her journey.
It'll be truncated. First, miracles are the divine outpicturing of God's natural law. I have totally gone from thinking that miracles were rare occurrences to recognizing that there is a miracle in this moment, in all moments. For myself, as I've just saw Bonnie say, more than once I have been in that place where the soul decided for me, the spirit that I am, to stay. I'll describe one. California, Highway 1, traffic traveling at 70 to 80 miles an hour. It stopped, 24-car pileup. I was number 25. I had the ability in the 2 moments that I had to choose a stable object. That's what you're trained in driver ed to do, to lessen the impact. I chose to hit a tree at 60 miles an hour. The 2 seconds before I hit the tree, I only had time to breathe and say, whether I am here or on the other side, protect me. Because I know that I am one with that divine, and I'm not going to argue with its plan. When the medics came, I was found dead, no life signs. They ignored me and did triage with the other 24 cars. Miraculously, someone else came back to check me, and there were life signs. Now I know that when I prayed, either here or there, protect me, that I left this body, for I have no remembrance of re-entering it until I was in an emergency room coming out of heavy anesthesia with no identification, and them asking me, what is your name? A cell phone rang, and the nurse had the sense to answer it. It was in the pocket of the jacket that had been cut off me. And it was my friend calling to say, you're late for the game, where's my car? And that is a true story. That's the only part of it. Miracles are.
Thank you, Rupali. And listen, y'all, Rupali gave y'all the truncated version. Yes, what you got?
In that time of healing, 5 months, over 5 months actually, but 5 months, 45-degree angle, unable to take care of myself in any way because I could not wait there. I had a head injury, I had a severed foot, and I had 16 broken ribs. I said to those caretakers from the very moment I had consciousness. I am whole, perfect, and complete.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rupali. And definitely, I want to encourage us to connect with Bonnie, Rupali, and Jackie, because this is just a glimpse of their stories because it's so thorough. I want to do this. So I knew I was going to ask them, and thank you so much for sharing such an intimate part of their story. And so I thought, yeah, it's one thing to type in Google or Yahoo what a miracle is, but to hear it in real form. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to truncate this talk because we started a little bit later than we usually do. And so I'm going to go here. Yahoo defines a miracle as a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be a work of divine agency. That's in the dictionary. Here's another one, if we're familiar with Merriam-Webster. They define a miracle as, quote, an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs. Now, here's the part that got me. It also says the healing of miracles described in the Gospels. Okay, they keep going. So Merriam-Webster even credits Christian Science. And so Christian Science and Unity are the father and mother of what we call New Age thinking. In Merriam-Webster, they define the third definition as a divinely natural phenomenon, experienced human as the fulfillment of spiritual law. So Middle English via Old French English, from Latin, it comes from miraculum, which is the object of wonder. From miri, to wonder. From miris, wonderful. Wonder. Wonder. We heard exceptional stories of miracles. I want to tell you a miracle of your life. Think of any random bruise. Let's think of something really simple. We've all had a paper cut. Think of a paper cut. All right? What happens is neurobiologists were able to track what happens when there's a cut. So first, there's what's considered a wound current. And macrophage, which are really large cells that express themselves as white blood cells, they rush to that site, and an electric field is created over that wound tissue. And so think of the microphage. I heard it described by a scientist as like custodians. They like come up and mop up the, right? They mop up the mess. So there are these really large cells that go right in the center of that wound. And that electric current sends out a signal. And the brain says, okay, we got some work to do. That electric field only begins to decrease as the wound begins to cover over. Let's talk about electricity. There's a scientist at Tufts University. His name is Mike Levin. He was looking at tadpoles. And so let's just say real quick, I know butterflies get a lot of love, but we got to give some love to tadpoles, okay? All right, thank you. Somebody was like, yes, let's give some love to tadpoles, y'all. They go through a metamorphosis. In fact, they're born, their little embryo are floating through water. They're amphibians, and over time, they start to develop functional lungs for breathing air that weren't there when they were born, y'all. All right, so yeah, I know we talk about butterflies because they're beautiful. Let's talk about some beautiful frogs, okay? So Mike Levin, he was looking at tadpoles, and what they discovered is in tadpoles, Y'all, they did it with dye, some really high power microscopes, and they were able to see that there is an electric imprint that flashed, and over time, exactly where that electric current articulated, arms began to grow, eyes were put in the right spot, legs express themselves exactly how that electric field was imprinted. Is that a miracle? Yeah, is that a miracle? What? We know about science. Settled science is electricity runs through our body, right? For those we may know, maybe someone in this room, there are pacemakers that manage the electric current that's in our bodies already. So electricity is settled science. But the idea that an electric current imprints, pause, DNA doesn't say where your legs should grow. DNA doesn't say put the eyes in the front of the head. That's not DNA's job. It's electricity that does that. It's energy that does that. So when we walk into a space and we say, the energy feels good in here, we are articulating the expression of that electric current. When we acknowledge the miracle that exists in our bodies with something as simple as a paper cut, we acknowledge our connection to allness. That is God, that is divine love, that is divine intelligence, whatever you want to call it. Our message today is about one thing. When we move through a healing journey, when we move through the articulation of a new lesson, in the same way that that 1-year-old is calibrating, that sense of intentionality is required in order for us to move forward. And so the next time we're frustrated by a thing, and then we're frustrated by ourselves for being frustrated of that thing, just know that that is the growth journey. That is the growth journey. And eventually you're like, I don't know why, I'm feeling super zen about this traffic. I'm just zen, right? And then now all of a sudden you're sick of cell phones. Who knows, right? It continues. So our charge today is, as we move through our articulators, we know that all is well. And so it is. And so it is. Okay, y'all, we're going to move into the part of service where we can all participate fully, and that's our giving. That's our giving. And so we're going to take our offerings, whether it's time, whether it's service, whether it's monetary, whatever that offering looks, and we're going to hold that energy and we're going to place it over our hearts. And we're going to bless this energy with the electric current that shoots through our bodies. And we're going to say, divine love, expressed through me,
Expressed through me,
as me, is me, blesses all that I have,
all I have,
all that I give,
all that I give.
and all that I receive. Y'all probably hear all the commotion. We got the kiddos coming in.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Here's the
Let it
walker, y'all.
shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Ms. Gwen, we were talking about the baby walking, so she was doing it.
I want you to welcome my friend who's been here, but it's been a while, Gabe. We have two Gabes now. and Valen here in Victoria and Resin, Victoria, and our friends from Texas, Allie and Blake are joining us today too. And we started talking about the fall, now that we've had the first day of fall. And we played, I'm going to give you them. We played fall bingo, but we talked about being scared. And we shared about things that have scared us. And maybe they turned out to be nothing at all after we've discovered that the monster under the bed was not really a monster under the bed. And we made scarecrows so that they can take their scarecrow home and hang it up and remember that if they feel scared, God is always with them, no matter where they are. In the bathroom, in the closet, no matter where they are. God is always there, and we don't have to be afraid of anything.
Thank you, Miss Gwen. Miss Gwen is working it out, y'all. Thank you, Miss Gwen. Okay, so we're going to rub our hands together, and we're going to bless our children. And it's up here. Here we go. Together. Children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we see the Christ's presence within you.
Love you, we love you, we really, really love you. Mwah.
All right, let's circle up, y'all.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.